Today is going to be a super embarrassing day because today I'm about to show you guys the diet I used to have when I first started training when I was a student. If you're eating how I eat in this video, stop it. But I thought it'd be interesting to make this video to reflect on how much my diet has improved vastly since then. Anyways, before I start cooking, what I'm going to do is do my morning cardio. Then I'm going to go to the store so I can actually buy these terrible foods. Bearing in mind I was a student, so it was a very budget diet. So we're gonna go to Aldi and commence this madness. All I'm thinking about is all the grease I can see in that pan. Just remember guys, this is what I used to eat. Thinking it was somewhat, I'm not gonna say great, but I thought it was okay. Oh god, it's insane. Also, back then I never tracked calories. I didn't start tracking calories and macros till probably 2 years after this point, but I'm tracking today just because I am super curious as to what the actual calories come out for each meal and the day in total. Because my intuitiveness is that a word? My intuitive eating brain knows that that is going to be probably at least double the calories what I normally eat. But I want to see for facts. So this is it. This is a lot of calories. And I'll put them on screen for you. Boom and boom. So yeah, we are looking at 781 calories in terms of the macros. Yes, we have 65 grams of protein, but we also have 54 grams of fat and 5 grams of carbs. That is crazy. The sausages alone was 500 calories of this whole thing and contributed to 34 grams of the actual fat. And this is what I used to eat on a gym diet. Let me shoot myself a little bit of bail though. So the reason this meal came about was simply because before like doing in the gym stuff and trying to think of a diet, basically what I used to eat for breakfast was cereal or, you know, the store-bought pancakes that you can toast. I used to like toast 6 of those pancakes and just eat them before uni, and that was more or less it. And that was my first meal. So in my head I thought, ooh, I need to start eating more protein because I can't just be eating cereal and pancakes. I need protein. What's breakfast foods? So back then I was really on the path of breakfast foods, like not thinking that technically you can eat any food at any point of the day. It doesn't have to be breakfast type, because that's basically based on your locale. All over the world, breakfast is different. But because we're in the UK, typical breakfast meats would be something like bacon and sausages. So I thought, let me go for bacon and sausages so I can increase my protein level, which I did because it's 65 grams, as you saw. However, the fats was in there too. But what I used to do to justify this to myself was, I used to say, well, I'm gonna start training now, so I'm gonna burn off all the fat anyway. And that was how this meal came to be. So yeah, and this is just the beginning of the actual embarrassment when it comes to my diet as a student. This is insane. This is technically more than double the calories I would typically have for a breakfast at the moment. My typical breakfast is probably come around 350 to maybe 380 calories. But as with everything, we learn and adapt. So obviously once I started learning that this is a crazy thing to eat every single morning, you know what I mean, I started making changes. Terrible calories and macros aside, I have missed streaky bacon. I've also missed having solely just whole eggs. I normally mix like 1 or 2 whole eggs with my egg whites so it kind of gets diluted. I have missed the taste of having like 3 whole eggs in one sitting. Like, that's not something that I'm thoroughly against. I could probably still have that now, but because I buy egg whites, it just makes sense because it's higher protein. Alright, that's meal 1 down. So let me do a little mini review. Like, I love my bacon medallions, but streaky bacon, I don't feel like you can beat. I feel like it's outside of barbecue ribs. That is the best pork you can get. Sausages, because they were so greasy, in the back of my mind, I couldn't enjoy it as much. Hey Siri, stop. But if I'm being honest, the foods that I currently eat now in 2021, I can have half the calories and still have something that tastes almost just as good as it. Alright people, so I've just came in from a quick walk, and right about now this would probably be the time that I would get in from university. So this meal is going to be my post student gains basically. So what I did as soon as I got in from actually coming in from uni, I used to eat before uni, and then when I got back, I didn't eat while at uni because my uni was so expensive and I just didn't have the money like that. So those instances, I wouldn't have eaten for potentially around 4, almost 5 hours sometimes, depending on if I had to catch the long bus home. So because I was so hungry and kind of tired, to be honest, at this point, before I even went in my room, I'd go straight to the kitchen, I'd take out my 2 pizzas and put them in the oven and then go straight into my room. And I used to sometimes nap for the 20 to 30 minutes. Then I'd put an alarm on my phone so I'd wake up in time to remember that I didn't burn the pizza. Just because I was just that exhausted. This was probably at least 4 times a week. Who would have thought that such an idiot with such a bad diet so far could get sponsored by MyProtein one day and actually learn to get in shape? Madness. Let me show you some of the supplements I'm going to be having today for MyProtein to get some micros into my diet, because today you're not going to see a micro. You'll be lucky if you see 2 micros in this whole video. So when I woke up, I actually already had my apple cider vinegar gummies. I'm going to take my organic turmeric pills. This is just from Amazon. We're going to take one of the CLA, collagen pill, vitamin D3, L-carnitine, and do I have any fish today? Nope. So we're going to have the essential omega-3 pills as well. Actually, what I'm also going to have is a Digester Max, simply because of all the crap I'm going to eat today, and my body hasn't eaten this much kind of processed food in one day in years, and I know for a fact my skin's gonna break out, my stomach's gonna feel a bit funny. So these Digester Max is meant to help you kind of digest like large bodies of food a little bit easier, so you don't feel as blah. So I'm definitely gonna have one of these, 1 tablet with each of your meals. I almost choked on all those damn pills. Anyways, I can smell the pizzas. Now we are ready to eat these 2 pizzas. Also, I used to always love my Chicagotown pizzas like this. So like a little bit brown around the edges. For example, the bottom one here, that's a little bit too yellow for me, but I'm gonna stick with it. Yeah, still tastes good. It's bringing back memories. Also, before I put on, I'm about to watch some anime. Before I put it on, in one of the other full day eatings I asked some of you guys to let me know some good animes to watch, and I've watched a bunch. Don't obviously hit me with the obvious ones, Naruto, Attack on Titan. Please let me know more underground animes, people. Give me some suggestions. I love Death Note. There's a bunch of them I loved, so I'm just thinking anything that anyone's watched that's really, really dope, that's not too obvious, let me know in the comments. That was actually really, really good. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed that. Right, so for the both of them, the calories comes up to 838, 34 grams of protein, 24 grams of fat, and 118 grams of carbs. If I'm being honest, that isn't that terrible. Like obviously for eating both, yes, but if I just had one of them. So per pizza, we're looking at around 411 calories. My homemade versions of pizzas do beat this on macros and calories, but if you had one of these, that is not like the be all end all. It's me having 2 that was probably the main issue. Alright, in case you're wondering, the running total today so far from those 2 meals, we are at 1,619 calories. The protein, we're at 99 grams, fats we're at 78 grams, and carbs we're at 123. So yeah, that's us so far. By the way, comment down below if you're actually pretty close to this so far as it is. But yeah, stay tuned for the next meal. I wonder if you can even guess what it is. I've mentioned this meal in the past, but very few will probably remember it. So yeah, stay tuned. Alright folks, we are back from the shop now, but back in uni, I used to have at least 1 full one of these, which is 2 liters every single day. But the thing to know about these drinks is back then the calories was much higher. They kind of changed them about roughly around 4 years ago, because per can it used to be around 150 calories, whereas now it's 60. So for example, 2 liters of this when I was in uni drinking it was roughly, I found it on MyFitnessPal, it was 1,000 calories if I had 2 liters of this drink. So as you can imagine, me drinking 2 liters of that every day was 1,000 calories automatically added onto my day of calories without even thinking about it. It was just tasty that I used to just drink it all day, every day. Right now, I think the calories for 2 liters of this is roughly more like around 400 calories. But to make it make sense, I'm gonna log it in as if it was the 1,000 calories I would have in uni, just because the whole point of this video is for us to see how much calories I was having back then. I was about a year into lifting. my post-workout meal would be bird's eye chicken breast. I'd have 2 of those in between a white bread, and I put bare barbecue sauce on it. And the worst thing of it is that when I used to literally look at it and go, protein, no. And I'd have this post-workouts, for example, after gym. I used to say, oh my god, I need like extra protein, so I'd eat 2 of these little breaded chicken things, and I used to class it as my high protein meal. When in fact, 2 of these breaded things equal around 26 grams of protein. That's basically 1 fillet, but it's much more calories, obviously due to the bread, the extra ingredients into it. So what I'm going to do is finish off my sandwich, and then what I'll probably do is show you what I used to have when I watch a movie, which is my kind of like dessert snack after my last meal of the day. I've done the sandwich. Final thing we're going to have is, I guess, my dessert, which is going to be waffles. I used to love these. I definitely haven't had these since uni. I used to eat 4 of them each sitting, and I looked at the back of it it says that 1 serving size is actually meant to be 1 waffle. 1 waffle is 115 calories. So me having 4 of these in each sitting, we would be looking at 460 calories. Got 4 of the waffles. Typically I'll put it in a toaster, but because obviously I haven't got a 4-punch toaster, I didn't want 2 of them to get cold, so I just put them in the air fryer. It works the same, just make sure you don't burn them because they cook fast. What I'm going to have it with right now is one of my low-calorie syrups, which is Walden Farms or Skinny syrup. My favourite is Walden Farms pancake syrup. It tastes the best in my opinion. It has just a very good taste. Back when I was in uni though, I used to have actual maple syrup. Alright, so I've just put on some pancake syrup, and what I've done was saw how much weight that it comes out to, which is 15 grams. That is roughly about how much maple syrup I used to put on. So adding that MyFitnessPal, including the maple syrup, brings it up to around 500 calories. So it's clear to see that my uni diet was just insane. The running total right now we're at is 3,800 calories. But if I'm being completely honest, I have underestimated a lot of the stuff. Like in regards to this whole list, I haven't even factored in any of the other snacks I used to eat throughout the day. Like for example, on here, the only snacks I have is this waffles, and I guess I put the drinks on there, which isn't really a snack. I haven't factored in like when I was at uni, but I did used to sometimes buy like Twixes and stuff like that to try and hold me over when I was hungry about midday. And then also there was times when I used to buy chips at uni, but because my uni was expensive, they used to try and charge you £2 for like oven chips, not even real chip shop chips, which I wasn't paying for every day, but I normally had. And a couple other things. I was eating over 4,000 calories, right? But as you saw in the video, they're not crazy filling meals. They're just meals that are just high calorie. So you have to think that right now, with my current diet, what I eat with these low calorie meals, I can't even get to 3,000 without that being a mission. Like once we're getting past 2,500 on the low calorie meals I eat, that still tastes great. I am getting to the point where my belly is full, like it can't fit more food. All I can say is thank God that I slowly learned to improve my diet. It did take a few years to get it even to like somewhat basic level, but I still did improve. But let me just state, that diet aside, those waffles taste great. Alright people, we're about to pick out on these waffles before we end out the video. And I'm sorry, I had to get some micros in. I brought a little bit of blueberries just because there was no fruits, nothing that had any sort of micros in it. So yeah, that's just not the way to be. I'm going to enjoy these waffles though. I'm hoping they still taste as good as they once did with the syrup. Waffles done, that was on point. So for this day, roughly we are on just under 4,000 calories. But something to recognize the fact that at the time I never, but right now anyway, after eating each of those meals I feel semi-sick. Probably because I'm not used to eating these foods in one sitting, well in one day. Even when I have like say junk foods or treats and stuff like that, they are mixed in a day where I actually eat other things like fruits and regular foods, so it doesn't really affect me as much. But because my body is now used to eating, I guess, like proper actual real food, I can't just eat non-stop processed junk in one day and feel perfectly fine. I'm almost certain my skin is going to break out as well because of all the grease and fat I've had today. I'll be putting the macros and calories on screen so you can see the full day. As you can see, the full day comes up to 140 grams of protein, which is actually quite lower, like a good 40 grams less than what I normally have per day. but it's 130 grams of fat. They're almost even. Like, that is crazy. 130 grams of fat. On a typical day, I struggle, if I'm being honest, to get even 40 grams of fat in. I purposely have to consciously think to push it up because the foods I tend to eat day to day aren't really that high in fat. Because I don't eat like much healthy fats outside of fish. So unless it's a day where I'm having like oily fish or something like peanut butter, I typically don't even reach the 40 grams, even though I should. That is a good recommendation, between 40 and 70 grams of fat. But yeah, guys, that is my day. That is the foods I used to eat. If you want to see me do like the other, I'm called levels or phases, whatever, like part 2 of this video where my diet slightly got better. Anyways, people, like, comment, subscribe the video if you enjoyed it. Let me know down below what you want to see next. What are the full day eatings? Some people said eating like Will Tennyson. Some people said eat like Remington James. I don't know, man. Just let me know what sort of videos you want to see, and I am going to make them for you because you seem to enjoy the full day eatings. If you do like the full day eatings, drop a thumbs up and hashtag full day eating. Deuces.
Make $1 million cash for you flatline. Make a master plan, watch it backfire.